Hello, how's it going, guys? Hope you're all good. Um, yeah, let me just turn down the music a second so then everyone can hear what's being said. There we go. Alright, so today I wanted to go through the charts a little bit. I haven't really updated them in a while. I haven't really needed to. It's been pretty much on point, hasn't it? So, I've still got this FVG down the bottom here. It's yet to be filled. So we'll go into that a little bit, see if that's possibly gonna come out. Got the inverted head and shoulders playing out here, which so far is good. It's just taking its time. So we're gonna cover all of this tonight. Go through it. Hoping we can go through some altcoins as well, which will be pretty cool. Let me just have a quick look. So yeah. Alright, so let's have a gander. We'll start on the total market cap. So this is the whole of crypto, okay? So on the weekly, we're still downtrend, bearish, and accumulating, okay? Daily is very much the same, but this is quite interesting. Okay, so for the first time since, when was that? February, 1st of February, we've broken above the 200-day MA on the 4-hour. Okay, so if you remember, we've come right down to this point of support here. It should really been an area of interest, I guess, but hey. So, sorry. There we go. And I think the music is probably a bit too loud still in my ears. There we go. It's not as loud in my ears anyway. Shouldn't make a difference for you guys. So we're definitely getting more money coming in now, which is really good. So what I want to see is that obviously, well, we broke up, we come straight back down here. Whereas currently at the minute we haven't come back down under. So this is a good sign. Just here. Let me change this to a green. Okay. What's this do? Date and price range. Let's have a little play. Okay. Cool. And that one actually stays there. That's interesting. Let's learn new tools. Haha. So if we retest the 200-day here and we bounce off it, I do see us going higher. I do. I mean, if we can clear 2.96 trill, let me mark this. I'm going to pop that there. Let's do target. Okay, so if we clear this here, if we flip this level, we're going up because the next resistance is about here. Okay, so that's kind of where it is. I mean, that'll probably be better off in a algorithm. Still thinking of code in there. Probably better in a box. Resist dance. There we go. Okay. So that's going to be the main block of chunk of resistance to try and flip. But I mean that's quite a gap between there. So we've currently got, say, from the 200-day up to that, we've got 10% to go on the market cap, and then we've got another 5%. So it's like 5% more, and then we're going to hit resistance, which is this target line. If we could flip that, then we've got another 5% growth where there isn't really any resistance. Okay, so that's what we want to look at. Now, with the money coming in, let me get the channel. Where is it? Okay, the channel's quite clear. Okay. Can I? Yeah, do it there. Okay, that lines up quite well actually. Okay, so we're also above the midpoint here, which means we could bounce back up. So this target is actually quite easily achievable just looking at this channel. Okay. So we come off the bottom to the top, test the midpoint, come back up, went to the bottom, back up, bottom. Now we're coming back up. Hopefully, what we see here is a retest on the midpoint and then come back up. Okay, that's kind of what I'm hoping for here. I don't see why it wouldn't do this sort of play out, but at the same time, it's possible that if this fails, that we come back down to test this before we come back up again. Okay, so in the long term, on like this is on the long term, on the midterm, this is actually quite good because it shows that new money is coming in. Okay, so if there's new money starting to come back in to crypto now, this is kind of where you want to be. Start layering your buys back in, okay, for the long term. Looks quite interesting on a crypto. I mean, on all dynamics, it's kind of it's bounced off. Like, look what happens when it bounces off this line. It's just launched. Where's the measure tool? So it done 80% when it bounced off that trend line. Yeah. So you got a little bit of a dead cat bounce, dead cat, and then take off. So we could, we could have a dead cat and then a takeoff, or dead cat takeoff. I mean, we need to break this downtrend. Yeah. So which we're on currently. We need to break this. Do you think we can do it? I think we can do it. The RSI is still quite low, really, on the overall market cap. Also got a buy signal that printed on the 14th, which was actually pretty good because over on Bitcoin, I've had this expected movement on the 14th on the 4 hour for a while. So it's actually quite nice to see. If I go back and look, that I've got a go long indication here. And if I coincide it with the weekly, on the weekly, it's on the same day as the market turned. Okay, so that's quite nice to see. It's quite interesting. On the 4 hour, you'd have got your position down here on that day before it took off. So you'd be in profits if you went in long there. All right, let's have a look at dominance. Okay, dominance is kind of extending out a bit more than what I'd like right now. Dominance needs to drop. We want bearish dominance, okay? If Bitcoin's dominance starts going down, then alt season's in, basically. That's no longer a double top, but it is resistance. I mean, that's quite clear. So let me change that to resistance to better reflect it. Okay. So this is showing obviously dominance coming up to resistance there that we need to flip. Okay, we need to flip it. Let's have a look. Okay, so that makes sense as to why we'd have resistance here. This is a whole chunk. Right now. Like 5% of resistance. It's quite a hefty chunk, really, guys. You know, can't argue with that. But we need to flip it. If Bitcoin's going to take off, it needs to continue to grow. Okay, if the alts are going to take off, then we need to kind of become bearish. Okay. RSI is still around about 53, and look, we're still following the overall trend on the uptrend. I think I've drawn that on the last stream, maybe stream before. So the overall analysis is still on point for a couple of weeks now, where I haven't needed to change this. Yeah. I mean, I'll just adjust it slightly in line with that. We've come down, so we can expect to bounce off here. Hold on, let me. Just need to try and tweak it a little bit more. Not really tweak it, but I mean, it's valid. You know, it's front touch there, gone through there, front run that, bounced off there, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, that looks good on the daily for Bitcoin's market cap. Okay, so this is also an interesting thing. So with the total crypto, okay, this covers all of crypto. Okay, so all the money that's coming in right now, that's there on the crypto total market cap. Okay, so the fact that this is slowly starting to rise up and Bitcoin dominance is just going sideways, that is also a good indication that where the money's coming back in, it's going into alts. Okay, so this could be an early indication of alt season. But I do need to adjust that. So I still think we're in this sort of channel. So I'm just going to adjust it just a little bit. I mean, it's not too much. Got touch, touch, touch. I mean, okay, it didn't quite go as bearish as I wanted, but I mean, it did bounce off, or I said it would again up here. Come back down, and it's kind of just ranging right now, isn't it? So this support line I can get rid of. Let's get rid of this to tidy it up for a minute and just play this. So if this carries on going sideways, say we touch off here, we're either going to bounce up on a bullish change. So if it comes across, could do that. Or the alternative is it comes back up to the double, where the double top is. I can now change that to resistance. Okay, because it's no longer a double top, we've got another touch. It could break down to the bearish side. Now, what we want is we want a bearish dominance for altcoins to actually take off. Okay. So yeah. Let's have a look. USDT dominance. Okay. So we broke out of that uptrend into range, broke below support. There's resistance. Let me remove all of this. Okay, I'll keep that level of resistance there for now. So this USDT dominance right now. Let's get rid of this support. Okay, and let's see where we are. So we're hitting this channel. This channel, like, I haven't removed that because that's still quite valid. Okay. So look, let's draw it out. I mean, it broke out there, comes straight back down. Like, we've had quite strong reactions once we've hit this point, haven't we? So now we're here. Let's have a look. Do I have... Yeah, POI. That'll do. So the reason why I'm marking these up, okay, is because it shows every time it has hit this level, it's had a strong bounce up to the upside. Okay, so we need to use this in conjunction with USDT. Sorry, Bitcoin. We're looking at USDT, you donkey. So if US dominance decides to come back up here, okay, say it comes up to the midpoint. So look, give me a second, because I'm doing this live while I'm showing you guys. I'm doing this so you can also sort of see. Let me just move that over. So you can see how I do it, my thought process when I do it as well, okay? It's really not hard. It's just takes me a minute sometimes, that's all. So it's easy to post screenshots and say things once you've gone through it and you've analysed it. But let's have a look. Total is going up. Dominance coming down. Only just. It's more ranging, isn't it? I mean, look at that. So this looks bullish right now, I'm going to say. Uptrend. Okay. And then a short-term downtrend. I don't need to do that because I can see by the channel that we actually have a bullish area here. Doing this, guys, to make notes from the south more than anything. Yeah. So we can expect a dominance move up. Now, if dominance rises, Bitcoin dominance falls, that means alts are going to bleed hard. But we've got money going into alts. Okay. So if this bounces up here, Bitcoin dominance drops, that's fine, but alts should stabilize. Okay. Does that make sense? So alts should start to stabilize and break away from Bitcoin at this point. Be quite interesting. I was actually hoping the US dominance had fallen down quite a bit lower than this, to be honest. I don't like the fact that it's right on that channel because, as said, we've had a reaction every time it's hit this point. So we need to watch this. Alright, anyway, on to Bitcoin. So it's still got the inverted head and shoulders in play. Okay, this is my target. I've shown it on stream, 91,000, just over. Okay, got our first bit of green here that we haven't had since 2nd of February. So this will be pretty good. Hasn't really been a lot changed Let me get rid of that double bottom. Let me get rid of these. Let me tidy this up a little bit. So it comes down, wicked into the support. This is really where you wanted to be able to buy. Okay, I missed the buy here, but I managed to get in again here. So I'm happy with that. I got in low at 79, but my margin was quite low, so I ended up DCAing in again, and my average was about 82 because I had to raise the margin up quite a bit to make the trade worthwhile. So I mean that's not too bad. I'm happy with that with what I've got so far. What's this green line at the top here? Okay, we can get rid of this for now. Let's tidy. I'm just trying to tidy the chart up a little bit. I'm going to keep the target. Okay, now here's the kicker. Okay, so this is the 0.382. What have I got? Okay, yeah, that's last year's range low. So let me yeah, I'll leave that. Okay. If we hit that target at 91k, okay, all of a sudden we are in the midpoint between the 0.25 and the 0.382. Yeah. So if we go up and we reject here, that's fine. Okay, this is kind of 91,740, so it's about where I said we'd be heading. Let me. It doesn't matter where I move that; it's going to be the same. Okay, it's a 15% move up or down. So around here, you'd be looking at a rejection. Okay, possible rejection, which would make sense. Looking at the chart, because look, that's where it all lines up here as well. Okay, so 91 is actually quite a strong number. Look, yeah, I mean that's a little bit low there. Let's go for candle close. 91,760, slightly higher than where I had it, but that sort of area is going to be resistance. It's only a thin, we don't need too much, just there. Name that as resistance. Okay. Right, this resistance we've clearly broken through now, so we can get rid of that. Okay, the support held, so we keep the support. Going up to resistance. If we reject here, I expect us to come back down to the 382. So that could be anywhere. So say from 26th of March to the 1st of April that we come down. So you've got between 84 and 85,500 here. Okay. Okay. And then if we break that, say if we manage to flip that, we are going up to 100k. Okay, just saying. Because that's the midpoint. So if we break above the midpoint, so it's similar to how channels work. If we break that, retest it, and it holds, we're going up to the 0.25. Okay, which would be great. You know, be even better if we then flip the 0.25 and start running up here, because I've had 120 since back here, really. I should have been a bit more on the ball and called this short. It would have been a lot better for us, for me in particular. But I struggled changing my bias on that. So I need to learn to adapt a little bit quicker here. Right, the other thing to watch, if we reject here, okay, if we reject at 91 and come back down and fail on the 382, we can still see 73. Okay, the point where 73 becomes no longer an option, I'd say would be when we sort of hit about 84, which is June, July, August time. Okay, so we're still in danger of ranging. Okay, until June, July, August. Okay, make no assumptions there. It's on the table. It's possible. Okay, so we trade the charts for what we see on what the charts give us at the time. These are my thoughts on Bitcoin currently. Now we do have to watch if USDT suddenly takes an upturn. Okay, on the 4 hour here, it's possible that it could bounce up. I mean, the weekly is showing bearish currently. I mean, it's uptrend, but like bearish. See how it rejected here. Okay, and the MAs are starting to curve round. Okay, and same on the daily. So the MAs are above the candles now, particularly the 7 and the 10 day. Okay, so dominance should start dropping on the weekly and the daily, but on the 4 hour that it could spike. Just watch it. But yeah, there isn't much else I could say about Bitcoin right now. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at Sol. So Sol is doing good. Okay, so look at that. Like it held my 128. Yes, we had a dip to 112, but it held the 128. That is good news. Okay, that is really good news because this cup and handle is well within play at the minute. Okay, so if you're not in Sol, get in on Sol. That support's held. Sol's actually looking really good. So right across the board. So we've come out of this downtrend, this downwards channel. We're out of it. I can get rid of that. Kapow, bye. See you later. Come on, alt season. Okay. That should have been resistance, but it looks like it's been flipped into support. We'll leave it. The only thing I'd say is the RSI is quite high at the minute on the 4 hourly. It's not so high on the daily or the weekly, so it's still got room to grow. But on the 4 hour, it's definitely a little bit high. Okay. So all that means is that we might just have to carry on going sideways for a little bit. Okay, we need to build a good. If we can turn this into good support, that'll be great. Now let me get rid of this. Let me actually put a support block. Okay, because that there is all support. Okay. And then obviously we've got a little bit more support just down here. Okay. Overall bias here at the minute is it is in an uptrend. Short term, I mean, if you're a scalper, you could make some money doing quick jump ins, jump outs. But I mean, I'm playing for the long term right now, particularly on Sol. My target here is 340. Let's have a look. I do have a long open on it at the minute. 1000% up at the minute. It's only 200 times. Low margin. I'm just going for what do you call it? Let me just see a second. Yeah, there we go. How is the stream quality for people? Is it okay? I'm just having a quick look. Okay, seems all right, I guess. Maybe it was my end. Maybe I just had a little hiccup. Okay, on the what you want to watch was Sol, on the daily particularly. I mean, well, no, we've broken out of that. I'm wondering how valid that would be. It might look like I'm just drawing an arrow, but like for the sake of it. But sometimes you have to allow for a little bit of noise. So if like this had flipped and bounced off, this would have been a valid trend line, and it bounced off. But instead, what seems to have happened is it's broke through and then sort of failed the retest, come back down. So now we're kind of looking at 158, 160 for Sol at the minute, for a retest. So I'll leave that one there. I mean, even that would be quite nice, to be honest. It's not much more than where we are now. Which will be, that actually lines up quite well here on the weekly. See that 160 for resistance. So let's put that as resistance. So it lines up quite well there. Let me get rid of that double top. That retest I'll get rid of. Well, no, I'll keep that one because that was my invalidation, if you remember. If we closed below that, that would have been my invalidation for this cup and handle. But yeah. Uptrend accumulation, bearish. Uptrend accumulation, bearish. Downtrend accumulation, bearish. So the conflict in information on the table there is actually quite good because it shows like a turn in the market. Okay. So I always go through Cardano very quickly. Let's have a look. I mean, as chill as this is, no, I want to keep that on, sorry. As chill as this is, it's also a little bit frustrating with how the market's moving at the minute. I don't know if anyone else has sort of noticed that. Just purely because it's like everyone's waiting for it to move and it's just not moving, which makes it frustrating. I mean, it come down here, filled the FVG, and then decided like it was going to come back up. You know, we had a bit of volatility here, which was nice. But again, this FVG between 36 and 51 is still unfilled. So if we come back up, retest the golden pocket here on a retest. So look, yeah, it's about the same level, is it? Yeah. So the problem with ADA is it doesn't really follow regular conventions for trading. So it bounced off the 236. We need to flip the 382 there, and come up to at least 91.92 cents. Okay. So this would be doing a new fib pull from the bottom to the high, 91 to 95 cents there. So that's kind of your target at the minute. Hopefully it just smashes through it. The golden pocket, you know, it just blasted through it and then blasted back down here. There's quite a bit of volume and then it died off again. So that was like the hype news. We're still in an uptrend since this point. You know, it's not perfect, but it's there. Sorry, my phone was just going off. Let me have a quick look. Okay, Yeah. It's just bits and pieces. Do I think we've come down for this FVG? I don't know. It's highly possible we could, but I don't know at this point. You know, it all depends on the rest of the market, doesn't it? I hate doing analysis on it because it is actually quite hard to read. Now, AVE, on the other hand, is doing well. Like, it bounced perfectly off the uptrend. So it's currently holding true. Okay. The 1 day seems to be playing out as expected. You know, up, down, and then hopefully it'll blast through. So if you got in on AVE with me, I am in on AVE as well. Yeah, I'm up 3,000% right now on AVE. Let me. If I screenshot it, it'll come up over on the right screen. It'll pop up just there, and then I can show you. So 3,000% on AVE at the minute. Still not closed. Got in at 161. That was a heck of an entry. You know, that was pretty good. So yeah, hopefully if this, my target for this at the minute, I'd say about 370 top of the arrow. You know, so if that plays well, that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Getting tongue tied, wouldn't it? The only thing, obviously, got to watch the 200-day MA here. It's quite a clear. You know, we've had a rejection here. Let's do a POI. Another POI. And then maybe down here somewhere. Hopefully we just go straight through it. That'd be really good. That'd be nice. I'd like that. I'm sure some of you would like that as well. Okay. And then let's have a look at Brett. So I am actually in on Brett. Okay. As you can see, I came close to my stop loss just here, but I never actually hit it, not once. So this is a 16 RR that I'm going for at the minute. So I might, like, depending how the market is as it approaches the 200-day, I might adjust that, take a smaller RR, but secure my profits and get out, or I might just decide to hold it. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with Brett yet because there isn't really a lot of data. Okay. What we can say is on the weekly, this is very clearly a strong level of support. Okay. For Brett, that is a humongous level of support right there. Okay, so if I do this and then change this to support. Okay, there you go. And then I'll just get rid of that. Okay. So I'm hoping what would be really good here is we come back up at least to the 25-day MA on the weekly, 0.7. That'd be a double your money on a spot trade. Okay. On the daily, we had a buy signal indication. I say a buy indication. It's not really a buy indication, but like these little X's on my indicator, they're actually quite good. You do get false positives like this, but even then, if you want to break it down, if you bought in here and held, you know, you wouldn't make a great deal, but with leverage, you know, there's 20%. So it's like they do carry some weight. Okay, so same as back here. If you bought in back here, sold up there was 70%. Okay, so like they've got a little bit of weight to them, at least in my opinion. and how I use them. It's currently a 16 RR targeting the wick of this here, because that tells me that there's strong support there. With Brett, I'm currently 2,500% up. So can't argue with that. Let's have a look, shall we? I mean, it looks like it's broken its downtrend. Honestly, just think, right? I honestly do. Just think that all this was just a consolidation. Okay. We've been going up for the best part of a year on Bitcoin. Let me show you. You know, we've had some crazy moves last year. Okay, where we're just moving up. So a 30% retrace is actually quite healthy. Like, look at that. That's from August 23, just straight up. Okay, so like, if people are getting in now, yes, you're getting in late, but you're not getting in at the end. Okay, we've held the 0.382 on this. I reckon we're going to the 0.25, 0.0, like target 150k. That would be really nice if we get it. I think even 120k would be good, particularly where we are now. You know, there we go. So yeah, but you played the chart that's there. So let's have a look. Like everything is green. Oh, look at Near. Near is doing quite well. See, the problem is I don't look at anything else as often as I should, but there's a lot of trades that could have been had. A lot. You know, like right now, Near is coming up to resistance. Okay, so it bounced off that resistance at the minute. Let me try and but even if you want to try and line all this up, you know, we've broken the downtrend. So have we broke it on this though? No, we haven't broken it on the 4 hour. I'd say we've just bounced straight off it there. Look. So Near could very much be very bearish right now. Or it could blast through. That would be really nice. That's what we want to see, because I do think we're not far now from alt season. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at FET. Okay. See how it come down to test the range lows of last year, and this is what I mean. Like now, if it's playing these range lows, like we might have one more dip before takeoff. I mean, that's 23. Sorry, not 24. We're in 25 now, aren't we? So February 25, it took off was when we started. So we're a little bit below, you know. That's fine. I think there was a lot of hype around FET at the time as well. Let me just get rid of them. Let's have a look. The one thing you want to do is like careful you don't trap yourself. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for a short. Okay, you see how it bounced off? Yeah. So there's good opportunity for a short there, maybe. I'm not going to take it because I'm not really looking at shorts at the minute, but it's just good to keep an eye on the broader market, really. And yeah, hope for the best. Does my stream keep freezing? Kind of feels like it a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. And put the recap up. Grass. Going FET. Let's have a look at FET. I'm actually holding quite a bit of FET spot. Because I do think FET will do okay. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. It's quite a bit below my entry, as you can see. And that's with DCA in from up here. I was hoping I got carried away, and I was hoping that we'd already started alt season back then. Yeah, we hadn't. But again, this is just like spot, so I'm not overly worried. 73. Yeah, it's about right. 70% retrace. It's about right for a to start coming back up. CVC link. Let's have a look. Link is always good. It's a nice, easy one to read. It's come down into the support. Literally bounced off the floor on my marker there, like pretty much to the dollar, and then it's come back up. On the weekly anyway. On the daily, I weren't quite as accurate, but hey, that's the thing with longer time periods, you can be a lot more accurate. And on the 4 hour, it actually missed my entry, so that is a shame. I hate that, where it front runs your entry like that, because that would have been quite nice. What would that be? 26.45. I screenshot that and post that in the Discord because that's kind of funny. Facepalm that. Yes. I mean, it's just like, hey, how's it going, JJ? Hope you're good, man. That is annoying. But, I mean, it's coming up to the 200-day MA. A chance of rejection. It might come back down yet. It might. I mean, like, I'm kind of torn at the minute whether to close my positions or whether to ride them out. If I ride them out, there's a high chance that I can get liquidated again, which we don't want. We don't want to keep getting liquidated just because we have a bias. I mean, it wouldn't be like an immediate liquidation. It would be a case of watching it bleed as the market bleeds. But at the same time, if this really is the turning point, then there's like huge potential, which is what I want. I want to make money. Fed up of losing it. I can make it. Like, look at that Doge trade. Again, not got stopped out on this Doge setup that I put on stream. But I like allowed myself And hold on, I'm grumpy at my decision to quit tobacco until I'm profitable in trading. Otherwise, it's good. Nice one, JJ. Congrats, man. I gave up smoking 7 months ago. It is hard, mate. I get it. But yeah, go for it. It'll be the best thing you can ever do, whether you're trading or not. But yeah, I mean, like I put a ramble out a while ago, and I was saying to people, like, I closed all my positions. Okay, when I bought in these positions, like Doge, Link, etc. I got front run on Link, admittedly, but some of these I closed. Okay, I closed because I just let myself believe what everyone else was saying about, looking for shorts and this, that, and the other. And I closed and I lost. How much did I lose? I lost 20% of my portfolio. That was a choice I made. Okay. So the portfolio was $100 as usual. And I closed it at a loss of $20. It was a choice I made because although I was bullish, everyone else was bearish. And everyone else was saying, you know, looking for shorts, looking for shorts, looking for shorts. And I decided to be a sheep and go against my own TA, go with what everyone else was saying. And to do that, I decided I'd take the loss of losing $20 because I had quite a few positions open. It wasn't just one or two. And yeah, it bit me because all these positions now that they're in profit. If I show you, I'll be open, I'll be transparent. This is what I've got at the minute. So I've only now just about broke even again. Okay, these are my trades. They're only small margins because I'm not going to be greedy. Okay, I want to build up and I want to accumulate, which is actually let's discuss. Where is it? My 5-year plan. Okay. Been saying this to people that I'm going to come up with a new plan. Okay, so this is my 5-year plan that I'm working on. Okay, so for the first year target, just 1%, I only need to make £43. Okay, so basically my starting amount is £73.27. That's $100 in case you didn't know. Okay, so I just need to double it, double the 73, get 143 in 1 year. Anyone can do that with their eyes closed easily. Okay, so for me the real challenge will be 3 to 6%. Okay, that will be realistically a bit harder for me to get, as I do my own trades. I don't follow anyone else, as you all know. So this is what I'm looking at over the next year, and we'll see it. Now, ultimately, I've got spot and futures, and it's basically I'm going to try and log them. I can't guarantee it, but this is my plan right here, and we'll come back in a year and we'll see where we are, somewhere between this. Okay. Now this is with exchange specific fees, so make or take fees. Depending on what exchange you're on, you just adjust that, and basically it calculates every trade. So this is only based off 6 trades a month as well. Okay, that's all you're doing, just 6 trades a month. So it's not even that hard. It's just being disciplined not to FOMO into a trade. Okay, if you FOMO into a trade, there goes that discipline. There goes your objective, basically, because you're going against what you want to do. Okay, that's not how we do it. That's not how we want to do it. Okay. So yeah. Let's have a look. So yeah, Doge, like, it's a shame. Bye. There's no point keeping it. Move on, I guess. I'm in a Brett trade. Pepe, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Pepe. This one's for Fibes. He's a frog. But again, let Pepe come down, hit my support. Okay. That should be support. When it's a green line. And bounced up. Absolutely everything that I've been looking at has come down and bounced right where I said it would. It's not me like trying to be big-headed or anything. It's like these are just like width. Okay, it's gone just under support, so width is potentially a good buy on that. I mean, what is width? It's a mean token, isn't it? So yeah. So yeah, it come down, retested last year's levels, retested, and now it's coming back up. So can't go wrong if you were to buy that on spot right now. Always be careful with all of that. I mean, it's see how it reacts here. It's coming up to the 200 day, and this has been known to front run the 200 day. Touched it there, but front run, yeah. Okay, let me just get rid of them. Be interesting. I think my general thoughts right now is over the next couple of weeks we're probably going to see a shift. It's either gonna like literally start to take off now, or we're going back down, and it's gonna take us probably the best part of the year to recover, and we're just gonna keep doing this dead cat bouncing, which we don't want this year. It's meant to be a bull cycle this year. Meant to be, you know. So yeah, I mean, this one's quite interesting to look at. Total 2. Let's have a look. So Total 2 is the whole crypto market cap minus alts. Okay, so total is everything including Bitcoin. Total 2 is everything except for Bitcoin. Okay, so what we've got to watch here, particularly for alts on Crypto 2, is that we're now on the 200-day range, which we've rejected. What's going to happen here? Let's have a look at the news. Poly launched on Solana to enable sold deposits. Oh, that made me jump then. Hey, Fretwanger, how's it going? I think someone just followed me. I'm not sure. That scared the life out of me. So, thank you very much. Cool. So we got Ethereum. Ethereum gained 4.6. Yeah. No real news events. I don't really follow the news. I know a lot of people do. I'm not going to go into it. Some news is good. Some news is bad. 98% of the news you hear in crypto is a load of bollocks and doesn't actually do anything, I don't think. I didn't say that. But yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know. It's like I don't know at this point. It's just like I really feel like we're at that point. Like, I mean, it's there on the charts. It's make or break. We're either gonna start rejecting again, or we're gonna break through. Okay. Now I'm hoping if I ignore Total 2, yeah, just close without saving. Thank you. Okay. Hoping, looking at Bitcoin, that we come up to 91k. You know, if we do, that would be nice. I mean, at the same time, I can see us coming back down, retesting the 382. It's perfectly viable. It still keeps the inverted head and shoulders in play. Okay. But if you look at the pattern, we're going up, down, and we're getting up, getting higher each time. That's currently the pattern that we seem to be in. It'd be nice if it just goes straight to 91k though, wouldn't it? But I don't know. Anyway, what's your thoughts, people? If you want me to have a look at some charts for you, I'm happy to have a look at them. Once again, though, I mean, the analysis is still valid. It's still in play. There's not really a lot to go over right now. Not a lot to say because not a lot's changed. I think the key point to watch is this here. Okay. With Bitcoin in particular. What do you mean ICT stuff? Sorry for it. But yeah, here if we I'll have a look at Hyperswell and SetJojo. See how it's broke above the 200-day. If it now comes down and retests the 200-day, okay, we want to see a clear bounce off that to hold. Fair value gaps and smart money concepts. Well, I don't know much about smart money concepts. I know a lot of people have mentioned it. I've never looked into it. So I don't know. I've got my own indicators, as you know. But for fair value gaps, I've noticed, you know, that they've been quite consistent for fair value gaps, particularly in the last few weeks. They've been quite fruitful. So, but I mean, there isn't really any there at the minute to go for that I can see. Is this one still at the bottom? How do I trade them? If you'd asked me that sort of like last week before, it'd be a lot easier to explain because you see it. But particularly with fair value gaps, so this one, if we're coming back down to fill this, I'd be setting positions sort of to like at the bottom of the fair value gap. Okay, so if we're above the fair value gap coming down, you set it for the bottom, and if you're below coming up, you'd set it for the top. And then that's sort of like you know, you want to completely fill the gap, basically. But yeah, I think this fair value gap here that I've got marked, I don't think we'll see it. I don't know why there's nothing there on the chart to say that we're not going to go see it. Because look, if you look on the daily up here, you know, it's quite clear we're still overall bearish. Yeah. But I don't know. I've just got this gut feeling that we're not going to see this fair value gap until after the bull run. Yeah, so once the gap's been filled, you wipe it off. Okay, so like I had a fair value gap here. So from there to there, that was a fair value gap. Okay, and you see, so here, it filled it. And then it come back down. Yeah, so once it's filled, it's gone. Because it's filled. There's no longer a gap there. That's how you do fair value gaps. They're pretty simple, to be honest. Same as CME gaps. Let me. It's this one, I believe. Oh, what's all that blue stuff? Is that my indicator? That can't be. Can't be that one. No, it's not that one. I have no idea what all that blue dots is in the background. But yeah, I mean, like, look, marked an uptrend and it's clearly uptrend. But like that, there was a CME gap here. Yeah. This was actually a lot bigger. I think I narrowed it actually because I think it got partially filled. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was partially filled and then it got fully filled and so forth. So that gap there, that's done. That's gone. Okay. So this CME gap here, for example, CME gap's pretty much the same as FVGs. That they're the same principle to trade. You know, yeah, market is FVG, it's the CME gap, but yeah, completely filled. It's not there. So now we've kind of got like a little one here. So we could say short term we're bearish. Yeah. So that one got filled. So we could say we're going to come down, retest that, and then come back up. Which, I mean, it would still suit the overall analysis here. You know, being in an uptrend, even if we did fill that. Yeah. So it all depends on your own style. I don't understand why that's got a blue background like that. I don't know. That's filled. That can go. This FEG is still not filled. That's fully filled now on the weekly. That is really good sign. Okay, that we filled on the weekly, because that's a bullish indication. And again, like, this is where over the last few weeks the basis of my analysis has been coming from. Okay, so it's like, yeah, we're there. Right, anyway, let's go have a look at hype quick for Jojo before I forget. I've got some horrible ringing in my ears as well now for some reason. Okay, let's get rid of that. So hype doesn't have a lot of data, does it? I mean, when come out at the end of December, and it's just been downtrend. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it just got released at a bad time, I guess. So if we do that, there's 2 touches. Did try to break out, I guess. Let's have a look. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it doesn't get rejected here on the weekly, because that wouldn't be good for hype at all. That would be extremely bearish for hype. It needs to like clear that. And again, it's, I mean, obviously we're in a downtrend, but it does show life coming back, so it's just above the 25-day MA on the daily. Okay, this is quite tricky though, because there's like, it's just now provided the 50-day MA, but there's no 100 or 200-day on the daily. Whereas on the 4-hour, you've got the 200-day MA, but it's bouncing off it currently, which is pretty much the same as all the other alts out there at the minute. And this now comes down. Now comes down to basically what Bitcoin's going to do in the total market cap. It's either we start turning around and saving ourselves, or we're going further down. So if you do have any positions, you just got to manage them, I guess. If you're over positioned, then reduce the current position. Okay, reduce your exposure. And then obviously, if you don't have any positions, I wouldn't be looking at opening positions now. So if you're not already in positions, don't enter now. You want to wait and see, because we this isn't just hype. This is like everything right now. You want to see it come up above the 200 retest, and then break out. That retest here, for example, would be the confirmation that the market's actually turned. Okay. But yeah. So at the minute, there's no trade for me on hype at the minute, Jojo, if I'm honest. It's just the market's not great for it. Let's have a look on grass. I mean, grass has actually held quite well. I mean, all right, I know it's come down, but like, look, from when it was released in October, it still maintained a steady uptrend. No, I haven't used their exchange. Is it any good? Let me have a look. Hyperliquid exchange. Let's have a look, shall we? Would it be? Let's have a look. Yep, that's fine. Where's that website? No, I don't want to connect to my wallet. See, that puts me off straight away. I mean, you say it's fully decentralized, but this puts me off. So they're saying it's their product, but then it's like, by clicking continue, you will leave the Hyper Foundation website and access a website made available by an independent third party. The Hype Foundation is not responsible for the actions or content of any third-party websites. So who's the third party? Who's the third party? Can you answer that, Fred? Yeah, no, I got no idea either, but it's right there. Like, you know. Well, no, who's the third party? Like, even if I go to the stats, no. If I go to docs, they've made that. Like, but look, if I get a no, stop popping up. Like, why are you popping up? No. I'm highly skeptical in this. Like, you know, I'm on their website. Okay, if I click stats, you know, it's accessing a website made by an independent third party. Launch app made by an independent third party. Start trading made by an independent third party. Okay, start building. Oh, okay. It just takes me to their docs page. I mean, it makes sense, but you know, onboarding, brands, trading. No. All right, let's go back. Right. No, I don't want to. Don't ask me again. But stop popping up when I'm closing you down. Hermia decentralized exchange. That just looks like MEXC. Sorry. Look at that screenshot. Right. They're saying this is Hyperliquid. It's just MEXC. That's all that is. That's a clone of MEXC. Nah, not quite that obvious though, mate. Like, hold on, let me get Binance up. Binance is completely different. Shit. Like, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it up because then everyone will see what I got on Binance. But like, I see what you're saying. All exchanges, they do kind of like follow the same sort of style, but like that is almost the spit of MEXC. Yeah, low fees, transparent. Yeah, very. Um, User built applications on the Hyper EVM. Anyone use apps, launch tokens and trade all in one place. So they're going to be a MEXC exchange that allows you to launch tokens. Okay, so probably another pump.fun inbound. Right, hold on. Like, look, this is also something you got to be careful of, right? No investors, no paid market makers, no fees to any company. Oh, look, you try and go on their stats and it takes you to an independent third party. Who's the independent third party when you're saying that there's no investors, no paid market makers, and no fees to any other company? So who's that third party? Sorry, I like rippling into this. Yeah, you won't catch me touching this project with a barge pole. Goodbye. That's the first um first crypto like thing that I've seen where it's like, oh yeah, takes you to an independent third party. It's good to have third parties. It's good to take cookies. It's good to tell your customers that there's a third party. But when it seems that your whole application is based on third parties, built by third parties, they don't want to tell you who those third parties are, but they tell you that there is no other party involved. You've got to ask yourself, where's your money going? So yeah, I wouldn't touch hype personally. But yeah. So that made me chuckle a little bit. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for tonight, guys, because not a lot has changed in terms of any of the analysis. I mean, like, we're coming down to retest the 200-day now. We got a very little bit of green. Be nice if it sustains, you know. Ultimately, I'm looking 91k for this inverted head and shoulders. We'll see. But yeah, if anyone's got any tokens you want me to look at, I'm happy to go and look through them. But yeah, otherwise, like, I'm chill, guys, because I don't like repeating myself. What point would you say the sentiment's changed to bullish? For me, it was this inverted head and shoulders on the Bitcoin 4 hour. Okay, it's not the strongest indication because it's not on the daily, it's not on the weekly. Although on the weekly, you bounced off the golden pocket. The daily, you've come down, you found the support, which I was quite surprised the support's there, but that was between two FEGs. Okay. And yeah, I mean, but seeing this, that changed it for me. In the sense that an inverted head and shoulders, when it appears at the bottom of a downtrend, it indicates a trend reversal. Okay, so that it indicates you're at the bottom there, and you're going to go back up. Inverted head and shoulders have also historically been shown to start the start of a bull cycle. Okay. So I got bullish about here preemptively, 80,000. I entered at 79 with a super low margin, and then I added more once the pattern was complete, and I got it to 82,000 as my buy-in. Nothing to hide, it's there. Just low margin, no point. I'll plan on holding them for a while, see what they do. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me just move that back up there. So that was it for me. That was the confirmation. And dead cat bounce. What point will you be confident we're not in a bear market? To be honest, like we're not in a bear market. I mean, well, right. No, let's answer the question, okay? So if I zoom out on this 4 hour, okay, so we can see everything because perspective helps, okay? So let me hide all that noise, okay? Well, we're not really ranging. I mean, you can see, like, we're not really ranging at the minute. We're retesting the upper point here to flip this, yeah. But if you look, we've held this 382 perfectly, yeah. So if we lost the 382, I think I said this before. If we lose the 382, we're going to come down, retest the support here. So that's what these green lines are. Let me see. Go to the object tree and hide this. Okay. So these green supports is $25,000 on each one. Okay. So that was a 100% move. That was a 50% move. Okay. For 25 here be to 100. So that's a 36% move. And then from 100 to 125, it'll be a 25% move. 23% move. Kind of. Okay, it's not 100% accurate this, but let me explain. Right, the reason why I've marked out these 25k, okay, if we go back here, okay, this was 17, we got up to 25, we flipped it, we retested, okay, so let me do it here to better show, okay, so we retested this here, and then we jumped up, touched the 25k, we rejected, and then come back up, we shot up, and then we've come down and we've retested the next 25k support. Okay, then we've shot up and now we've come back down, but we haven't fully retested. Okay, we haven't fully retested. It's been close, but we haven't. Okay, but that's fine. So if we lose, I mean, I'm expecting us to go up here, you know, to at least another 100k again. Okay, it'd be nice. If we break 100k, we're going to 125. If not, we'll come down and we'll retest. Okay. Now, if I zoom in, and for the purpose of this, let's find the bottom, which is there, 76. Okay. So you've got to allow in crypto, give or take, you know, that's only 1,500 away from another round 25k, 75. Okay, got 25, 50, 75. We're only 1.5k away, so chances are we, you know, hit that 25k. So now I think we're going to 100k. Okay, so and hopefully we break through. So based on that, that's like my thinking here. Okay. And then obviously if we add the fib, okay, speed fib fan, okay, from the very bottom, this is when the market changed. Okay. So initially, obviously it's quite tight here, so don't worry too much about that. But then look what happens when we get to the 382. It had a little blip here, but past that, the 382 has held. Okay, it's held. So to me, we're not in a bear market. So yes, like we've dropped 30% from all-time high. There's no disputing that. So like that was, I shouldn't have missed that really, but I did. But it doesn't matter because we didn't really lose too much because we trade level by level. Okay, so we've gone down 29.9%. I think it was actually 34.5 or something like that was the total according to CoinGecko on the low. Okay, but when we've hit this level, okay, we bounced. Okay, so this is a little dead cat bounce. Yeah. So you got a little dead cat, and then it took off. And this is that's my thought on it. Okay, so when people say no one really knows, just zoom back, look at the data on the weekly time frame. Okay, let's have a look. On the weekly, we never even lost the 50-day MA. Didn't even lose it. Like we retested it, we touched it, which is where the Fibonacci golden pocket lined up from, from just before the impulsive move to the top. We come down, bounced off the golden pocket, and we're going back up. That's a healthy move. Okay, on the daily, yeah, again, it's like we've only just got a little blip of red on the daily. So I when people say we're in a bear market, I struggle to understand how we're in a bear market. Okay, now if you're trying to scalp, and this is what people seem to do these days, and I'm guilty of it as well, and I'm trying my hardest to not do it. Okay, because this is how you lose money, unless you're absolutely amazing. Okay, but if you're doing this, and trying to scalp these entries to get that RR, the chances are you're going to lose, because like if you're doing, let's do this again. Okay, oh, hold on, didn't grab that correctly. So if you're doing that, okay, and you're trying to get that RR 7.67, that's great. Okay, but put it into perspective. Yeah, that's great and all, but like that's not the move you want. Me, I'm targeting 120. That's what I want. I've said this since we were 105. I think we see 120 easy this cycle for the bull run. Hidden for cool. My target's 120. I do think there's a real possibility we see 150. Okay, but I'm not naive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not naive. Okay, we did lose 30 odd percent. Look, from the top to the bottom. So 30.39%. Okay, that's a healthy correction in crypto. If you were doing stocks, people would be losing their minds. Okay, but for crypto, that is healthy. Okay. I'm not naive. to the point where I have to assume that there is a possibility that we have more downside. Okay, but this is my line, 382. If we lose 382, I'll be looking at 0.5. I mean, primarily looking at the support here, testing the range highs from last year. I'll be looking to see if we break this support, which has held on a couple occasions. Okay. But unless we lose this 382 at the first point of call, we're still bullish. We're still bullish. Like I really struggle to see how people can say we're in a bear market, because look on the weekly, right? So even back here, when we hit 79k, it was still red. Don't ask me how. That's just the way it was, I guess. Okay, but like we were red, and now we flip green. So unless like something's wrong with my code there, but I mean, why does it work out fine everywhere else? Yeah. So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts anyway. Okay. Now everyone sees things differently. I do agree that there is a possibility we can see further downside. I'm not going to dispute that, but I don't see us doing it. Not really. At the most, come down, fill this FVG at 70. You know, if we lose, I think it was 68, which is this level here. So the lower uptrend on the 0.5 fib level, 68k. If we lose that, yes, I can see us going lower. Okay. And when I say going lower, you know, full bear season, probably 26k floor, because that's kind of where the support is. Maybe a dip down to 20k. Okay. So who knows? Who knows? But that's my thoughts. That's what I think. XAU is the highest it's been for a long time, all-time highs, and Bitcoin is just digital gold. I'd take it. Is XAU gold? I don't do stocks, so you have to forgive me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, people refer to Bitcoin as digital gold. That it's the nostalgia that people say that, because it wasn't actually the first cryptocurrency. Okay, people tell you it is, but it wasn't. Okay, I'll save that for another day though. But yeah, it's the first digital currencies never took off because they were terrible. Bitcoin was the first one that actually took off. Okay, Bitcoin is the leader, which is why people say it's digital gold. Okay. They also say it's digital gold because of the first cryptocurrency. This is actually pretty funny. Hold on. Go on. I'll dive into it. Nope. No. See, when you Google it, it's like, yeah, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean that's what Bitcoin's got going for it. There you go. Was that it? Okay, I guess so. I was pretty sure it was called eGold, but it's not. Okay, it's on Wikipedia. Okay, here's a history lesson for you. Okay, David Chaum published the idea of an anonymous electronic money in a 1983 paper, eCash. Okay, however, eCash got closed down There was a lot of crime, some stuff I don't want to talk about over a stream. They do have a history of working with police and FBI and stuff like that to try and catch perpetrators. But some of the stuff that went on, just can't really talk about. But eCash was the first digital currency. Bitcoin was the first digital currency that took off. Okay, but yeah, there you go. Brief history lesson. Very brief. Be interesting to see what happens here. Ooh. Right, anyway. It's been a pleasure, Fret. I've enjoyed the interaction. But I don't really think there's much else to go over. I mean, I'm still bullish. Yeah, but there might be a bit of short-term downside. But that's about it. Yeah, it pays to have a different perspective, and see how people do things. I mean, this is how I do it. Am I right? I don't know. Not until it happens. And that's the long and short of it, really. Same for everyone else. I love seeing how people do things. So it's good. Anyway, peace out, ladies and gentlemen. I'll leave this running for a minute. But yeah, I hope you all have a good day.